Hello, everybody. Welcome to Astronomy 3. My name is Keith Waxman, and here is some information for you. It's also on the syllabus. We're going to cover that in just a few minutes. Thank you for taking this class. I know the situation's very weird. I hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody's been forced to do this online, and you guys, it's all new for us too. So we're going to try to have some fun this semester. We have about 120 people in the class, and we have quizzes each day. Starting tomorrow, we have a final. We have some homeworks, but I'm going to try to make this as fun as possible. I've been recording some lectures. Each week there's going to be about 3 lectures to watch, maybe a little bit more, but only totaling about an hour, maybe a little bit more each day. And Astronomy 3, stellar astronomy, astronomy of the stars. This class we're going to talk about stars, black holes. We're talking about possibility of life other places, other planets we're finding around other stars. We're going to talk about, but mostly stars. That's stellar, pertaining to the stars. My name is Keith Waxman. Again, please call me Keith if you're going to call me anything, or Waxman. If you want to email me, you say Waxman, or yeah, don't say Professor Waxman or Mr. Waxman. Don't do that. Just Waxman or Keith. That's what I prefer. There's my email, kwaxman@santarosa.edu, which is also listed pretty much everywhere. I'm going to show you where on the Canvas page. Joe Puccioni, my assistant, and there's his email, joechones@comcast.net. I'll show you where that's found too. So I want to talk to you about what we're going to be doing in here. I'm going to show you the Canvas syllabus in just a few minutes here, and our Canvas page where you can find the homeworks, study guide, the text, which I'm going to make optional, which is astronomical tidbits. And I don't have one here, but I'll show you in some other video. I'll make that optional. It's in a bookstore. And if you want to get it, it's like $23, $26. You can get them used other places. But because of all the weird stuff going on, I'm not going to make it mandatory. And there's even another astronomy text called OpenStax. You can get different subjects. I've posted an OpenStax online text that you can also look at too. Well, this class, Astronomy 3, is different than Astronomy 4. Astronomy 4, if you're interested in taking Astronomy 4, that's the planet. That's the solar system, the sun and the moon. That class, you learn about, again, the sun and the moon, the major planets, minor planets, comets, asteroids. This class, we don't really talk about those things too much, except for the first day or so, first 2 days. This class, we're going to get more out there, not just stay at the solar system where Astronomy 4 is, but move beyond, where you talk about evolution of stars and we talk about cosmology, where we'll be doing that, which is not the same as cosmetology, different subject. And we're going to get out there and see what's out there. And I expect that most people in this class have not had any astronomy. This is an introductory class, so I will never assume you know something in astronomy. I'm going to keep this basic and want to have some fun during this time too. So let's take a look at this class and other classes. And by the way, for Astronomy 12 lab, if you're interested in taking a lab to go with this class, you can take a 4L or Astronomy 12. Both, of course, are going to be online for a while, but I do recommend Astronomy 12, if not this semester, in the summer and the fall. And that is a class where you do learn the constellations. And we used to work with telescopes, but we'll see if we actually get a chance to get out there. But you'll learn constellations, you'll learn how to use star charts, see a lot of different videos. It's a great class, Astronomy 12. And I usually teach that with either Mike Healy or Laura Sparks or Justin Stevick. And there's still those classes. Some of you might be taking that class over the summer. So I'll probably, see you online in those classes too. One that starts actually beginning, just before this class starts, before this section starts. So let's take a look at the syllabus and the Canvas page and try to answer some questions you might be having. And again, you can always email me if you have questions too. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, you might hear my son in the background. He's here to help. His name is Charlie. So let me take a look at, let me share with you this. Yeah, so take a look here. I hope this is working out. I didn't see myself on the camera there, but we'll see. I've messed up more of the time than not with recording these Zoom lectures. So here it is. Here's our page. Here's Astronomy 3, Stellar Astronomy, section 8084. So you should be able to get to this once I publish it, and I'm going to probably publish this tonight. So here's everything you need. Everything you need is right here. And so what the homeworks? Here are homeworks. Here's the syllabus can be found here. The syllabus can be found there. I'll post the syllabus in a few minutes here. There are modules. We'll talk about that. Grades, where you can see your scores. Assignments, where you'll see the homeworks there. You can also find them in assignments. Discussions. And I'm going to go down here. And this is kind of like the main page you need. It tells you, here's the syllabus again. Here's a study guide to kind of help you out what we're going to be studying. Here's a free text. That's the OpenStax one that you can, if you want to read that, you can. Again, the astronomical tidbits is also optional too. Here's where the lectures are going to be posted, videos of different things, plus our lectures, and it's going to say the date and what lectures you should watch for those particular dates. So this will be on here. Of course, this lecture is also going to be on there. I'm going to post this one very shortly on here. And then the one for June 16th will be on here. The lectures, usually about anywhere from about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, sometimes a little less than an hour for the lectures. So they're not going to take too much of your time, but you should watch at some point during that day these particular lectures. And then if you go over here to the other side here, so you see there's a homework that's going to be due, first homework. It's going to be due in a week. So you can click on that. You can also find that over here, same thing. You can also find that over in assignments. So in assignments, you can also find. So you can click on that and find an assignment, or click on it here. And you're going to do the homework. You can print it out. You can write on this, or you don't even have to print it out. You can just look at the questions, write out the answers, take a picture of it, and then just upload it on here. There are instructions to upload them on here. So there it is. There the homework's listed, and then there's going to be an in-class exercise we'll do after a video. That's also going to be due the day that the video should be watched, that day. And here's another homework that's due a week after, a couple days after the first homework. There it is, same thing. It's also to be found over here, also to be found over there. And going on down here. So here's just pretty much everything you need is on this page. And there's another in-class homework. There's another homework you're going to turn in. It says the date. And it says at 12:10. I think it says 12:01 somewhere. So just, by about 12:10 when the homework's due, it's going to be due at that time. So I'm going to probably move those all to 12:10 on those particular dates. And but if it's late, you lose some points. So try not to turn them in late. There's another homework due. So this is, a good page to see. Now, I want to go to the syllabus. So I'm going to click the syllabus somewhere. Let's just, right over here. Look at that, syllabus. Let's click on this. Let's bring this thing up. So here's the syllabus. Let's talk about this. So again, here it is. It says office hours. First thing, live Zoom office hours. I'm going to pick some times. You may not be able to come to these times, but I'm going to have some live office hours. Probably every day I'll have at least a half an hour. We'll see if there are more people that want it. I can even do longer. We'll talk about that. Office. No more office. That's what happens. Phone. Office phone. No. Actually, I never even use that thing anyway. Best way to email me. And so email me, best way. Course readers, graders. Joe. Same thing as what's on the board. There's his email. Yeah, you're going to turn in, if you want another way you can turn in homework is you can take a picture of the homework and send it to Joe. That's another way you can do it. And actually, so you can do it that way. You can also upload the homework on Canvas. So there's ways to turn in the homework. Class days. No set hours, but Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's when you should be watching the videos. Of course, you can watch them other times, but if you watch a video, let's say for Tuesday, after Monday, say, I'm going to watch my Monday video on Tuesday, there's going to be an exercise you missed. So you really got to keep up with the videos. And I'm going to make them relatively short. It's not going to be 3 hours. So watch those videos sometime that day. And, sometime before midnight that day. It could be morning, I don't know, evening, night, whenever you have time. And make sure that you have that material covered and understand it, because the next day there's going to be a quiz on it, a 5-question quiz. So, and that day there might be a little exercise that I might say, hey, on Monday's lecture, I might say, after a lecture, I might say, hey, we're going to do an exercise. And just turn it in before midnight tonight. If you turn it in Tuesday, you won't get full credit for it. You actually, for an in-class exercise, you won't get any credit for it. You got to turn it in the day it's due. Here's the optional astronomical tidbits. And again, you don't have to get it. There's the ISBN in case you want to find it somewhere else, in case you want it. It's a good book. It's the way my dad taught. It's the way I teach, because I grew up taking my dad's classes. That's why I'm a teacher. I love being a teacher. Of course, I've always wanted to work for the Giants or the Warriors and be a statistician, and no one's really calling me up for that job. So I thought, hey, you know what? My dad loved teaching. Teaching's great. And it's a little strange now online. I'd rather be in the classroom. I'm sure you guys, most of you will probably do that, but we're stuck doing it this way. So we're going to make the best of it. Needed for homework, scientific calculator. You can use your cell phone scientific calculator. You want to have something that could do an exponent or a question that might be on a homework, on an exam, not exam, but on the quizzes and the final. I'm not going to have you do calculations, so you really won't need a scientific calculator for quizzes or the final. Special considerations and suggestions. If you have any special needs or concerns, please do not hesitate to let me know. If you're having problems keeping up with class, please email me before you get too far behind. You need to keep up with this class. There's a lot of stuff done in one day. The lectures aren't that long, but you need to be doing possibly exercises that day. If there's one that's mentioned in a video, you do it that day. You're going to have a quiz the next day on the stuff you learned previous day. So you got to keep up. If you start not doing well, you got to let me know. And if it's the class not working for you because of the format, maybe you should drop and take it at another time. But don't tell me after the semester's over if you didn't do well and say, hey, I need to do well in this class. What can I do? If the semester's over, I won't even email you back. There's nothing I can do. I want to know right away if you're having trouble, and then I'll help you. We can even set up other meetings, online meetings, if a different time works better for you. We can do that. So let me know if you're having trouble or any concerns, any kind of stresses you're dealing with, if any things like that. I can give you advice on how to study certain things. I'll help you when I can. Assignments and course participation. Homework has a particular due date and time. Let me get my recorder here. You may not have been allowed. Yeah, sorry if it was a little bit quieter here. All right, homework has a particular due date and time. Late homework will not receive full credit. If it is turned in within 1 day, 24 hours after the time, we'll receive only 50% credit. So make sure to get the homework in, the assigned homework that's due those particular days, get it in on time. Any homework turned in later than 1 day will not receive any credit. In other words, for maximum points, don't turn in homework late. It can always be turned in to me early or emailed to Joe. And don't turn it in to me. Joe keeps track of everything. Homeworks are posted on Canvas. You can print it out at home or just write answers on a separate sheet of paper, then take a photo of it and upload it on Canvas. You have 1 week. Now, if you have 1 week after an assignment is due to notify Joe if there's a mistake in your score on Canvas. If you see that something's not being counted after a week, you email Joe. If you wait 3 weeks, it says after that, Joe will not make any adjustments. You wait 3 weeks, it's too late. Yeah, Joe won't make any changes. So every week, just look at your scores, remember in grades. Let me go back. I'm afraid of this. Let me go back to this. Oh, good. That worked. So let me go back to, in grades, if you click in grades, you're going to see your scores. So if you do that and find out Joe's not put something in, he might be just lagging behind, but if it's after a week, he should have everything in. So let him know if you don't see something. And the syllabus, oh, good. All right. So what else here? Oh, optional readings. I think you really enjoy these readings. It's the way my dad taught. It's better than a regular, it's not as dry as a regular text. And again, it's optional. I'm not going to test you on these. If it were a normal semester, yeah, I would, but I'm not. We're going to kind of take it easy during the summer, especially with all this going on online and everybody's kind of getting used to this. We don't want to do too much. But hey, if you want to read some material, you can read these. These are very short chapters. These chapters are like a page or 2 pages long. But I'm not going to test you on them. You don't have to worry about that. Now, what are we talking about in this class? Week of class and subject. Week 1. That's this week. This introductory lecture, you might be listening to it early, but it's supposed to be for June 15th. So this is the course description. Not very exciting. I mean, going over the syllabus, not too exciting. But then we get into what is science. There's going to be a lecture on that today. I mean, this is part of today's lecture. So the next lecture you're going to watch, right after this one, right below this one on Canvas, is what is science? It's only like 8 minutes long, but I'd like you to know what science is. I want you to start from the beginning, science and the scientific method. And then also today, what we're going to start talking about in the other lectures, the Earth and the Sun, what other bodies that astronomers study. And then units of distance we're going to get into probably for the next day's lecture. We're going to get into units of distance, how we measure distances out there, how far away things are, which is just amazing to see how far. You can't even understand it. You can't even visualize it. It's just too much. So we get into distances. And then later on, at the end of this week, what we're going to do, I think the 17th, we're going to get into EMR, light. Light is very important in astronomy. We'll talk about why. Then next week, we're going to continue with light and talk about spectra and radiation laws, and then how we figure out the distances to stars. And then the following week, we're going to start determining properties of stars, like the magnitudes of stars, spectra, binary stars, variable stars. Again, I don't expect you to know what these terms mean. That's what we're going to cover. Masses of stars. Then we get into more about evolution of stars, which is the HR diagram. And we get into the birth of stars. Other planets out there going around other stars. Some planets we're finding out that have water vapor in their atmospheres. They could be like Earth. So just amazing. We have space telescopes that are discovering other planets. We have land-based telescopes discovering other planets. Not in the solar system. I mean, we're not really discovering major planets in the solar system. We're discovering things like Pluto out there, but around other stars, not part of the solar system. The stars you see at night, looking up there, we're finding planets around a lot of them, which is exciting. And which means that at some point, hopefully, we're going to find life out there. So we'll talk about that. Then more about stellar evolution, nuclear reactions, forces in nature, the lives of stars, the deaths of stars, how stars die. You've probably heard of a supernova before, a star blowing up. Some stars do that. Some stars don't die like that. Like we think the sun's not going to die like that. We're going to have other ways stars die. Then we get into the core phase of stellar evolution. White dwarfs, neutron stars, and black holes. So we're going to talk about black holes. And something that everybody's heard about, but maybe not everybody knows exactly what they are. You're going to learn about them. You're going to know what a black hole is. You're going to be able to explain that to your friends. Then we get into relativity, Einstein's relativity. We get into ideas like time travel and the relativity of time. Your time might not be the same as someone else's time, depending on where they are or how fast they're going. Then we get into these gamma ray bursts. We may talk about those. It doesn't take too long. Bursts of this energy called gamma rays, and we get into types of black holes. We're going to talk about that. Interstellar medium and star clusters, types of nebulae. And then into galaxies, types of galaxies, our galaxy, the Milky Way. And then eventually we get to cosmology. And then after cosmology, which is the study of the universe as a whole, we get to our final, which is going to be July 22nd, the regular time you would have taken the final at noon. It's going to be 40 questions, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have an option. You can't take it at noon. I'm going to have an evening final, which will be different questions. And so you can do your choice. You're going to have a couple times on that day to be able to take the final. And you got to pick one of those times. And the final's only going to take you about probably 30 minutes, but you're going to get more than that to take it. But it's only going to be 2 separate time blocks. All right, grading and grade distribution. There'll be 16, well, I didn't even say it, yeah. I omitted the quiz. It should be 16 quizzes. This is quizzes. Sorry about that. I'm not going to change it now. I'm already too far into this. So 16 quizzes. It seemed to be gone there. 16 quizzes. There'll be 5 multiple choice questions, and they're with 4 points each, so 20 points each, these quizzes. Material will be based on the previous day's lecture. Your lowest quiz score will be dropped. So it'd be 15 counted at 20 points each, 300 quiz points. Most of this class is graded based on your quizzes. That's why you have to keep up every day. You have to keep up every day. If you start lagging in the quizzes, that's the easiest way to not do well. But if you keep up with the quizzes and do pretty well, you're going to do well in the class. There are no makeup quizzes. There's actually no makeup anything in the class. Quizzes may be taken. There are 2 times you have to take the quiz. Only 5 questions. They're going to be on Canvas just to show you where they are. It's going to be in, actually, it doesn't even show here. There's going to be another, I'll put that on there. There's going to be another clickable link area that says quizzes. It's probably going to be, I'm going to put it right underneath grades. It's going to say quizzes. And you're going to click on that, and you're going to take the quiz each day. You're going to take it starting on Tuesday, the 16th, June 16th. Is that right? Yeah. And so that's the way we're gonna do that. And you can either take the quiz of the 5 questions between noon and 12:10. Right at noon, you'll have 10. It's not going to take you that long to take it. Or let's say you missed that, or you're working or doing something else. You have that evening to take it, and those are your only 2 chances. It's going to be different questions, of course, not the same questions there as there. But those questions in the future, everybody's going to get a chance to see all the possible questions because your final is going to be based on questions very similar to that. So, again, you can only choose one of those times to take the quiz. There will be 1 cumulative final exam, 40 multiple choice questions at 100 points. So at finals, it's worth, what, 20% of your grade. But it's only 40 multiple choice questions, which are going to be very similar. I'm going to pull from a lot of the quiz questions and change them a little bit, and that's how I'm going to do it. Plus, there'll be 11 homework or lecture exercises at 10 points each. Some of them you'll all be doing it at home. But some of them you'll have some time. You'll know the date it's due. Those are the regular homeworks. The lecture exercises are going to be at the end of a video. I might say, hey, here is exercise 2. What I want you to do is answer these 3 questions. So you're going to write out the questions, and you're going to just upload it onto Canvas. Take a picture of it, upload it, or send it to Joe. And then if you do it during that day, you're supposed to watch the videos, you get full 10 points. If you don't do it that day, you don't get any points. So that's a way that you have to keep up. And your lowest homework score of these 11 homework or lecture exercises combined, I'm going to drop one. Let's say you miss one. I'm going to drop one. So they're going to be 10 that are counted at 100 points each, and there are no makeup homeworks or exercises. No makeup anythings. The lecture exercise will be given randomly at the end of particular lectures you watch. You will write down your answers, take a photo of it, and upload it to Canvas, or email it to Joe. Extra credit opportunities. Now, I used to have a cell phone extra credit opportunity if you didn't use your cell phone in class. But guess what? I'm going to let you use your cell phone as much as you want. Anytime you want, you're allowed to use your cell phone. All right? You know, I prefer that you don't, probably I'd rather just kind of test your knowledge during quizzes, like the quizzes in the final, where you're not like looking up stuff. But I mean, if you want to text somebody during, not during tests, but hey, if you're kind of watching the videos and having a conversation with somebody, that's what I mean. Yeah, I still want you to do the work on your own. I would like you to do that. But I do have some extra credit. 25 points you can do. I mean, that's pretty good. That is a good. That's what is that, 5% of the class. You can get a full 5% higher. Here's one way you can do it. There's a documentary called Earthlings, and it is rough. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. But it's the most important movie I've ever seen. It's about the role of animals on the earth. It's not just food. It's like zoos and animal testing and puppy mills. It is just some of the scenes in there are just, the first time I saw it was like 11 years ago. And the only other times I see it is when I want to force people, not force people, but you know how misery loves company? If you're sad or depressed, do you want to be the only one sad and depressed? No, you don't. You want other people to be sad and depressed. And then you feel a little better, right? And it's just a trait. I mean, it's not because you're being nasty or something. It's just that's the trait of humans. They want to know that people share in their misery or understand. And it's just the way we are. So when I was miserable after seeing Earthlings, first I had to get my roommate to see it. I mean, then I had to I had to show it to the campus. I got a little bit of flack for that, but I don't call it. I tried to show it to everybody on the campus. Then I had to, eventually I had to get my wife to watch it. So yeah, I don't want to be the only one upset. And now I'm going to try to get you to watch it. And it is tough. It is graphic. And it can be seen for free on YouTube. It is, and I don't know, I mean, some people can't just make it through. I still, every time I see it, I hate seeing it. If you just try to listen to it, if you can't watch it, and email, just have a reaction. Doesn't matter what you say. I just want you to watch it. Just a 1 page or more. Just type double-spaced reaction, email to Joe anytime before our final exam time, and you get 7 points. 7 points extra credit. That's a lot. Well, let's say you don't want to do that. Say, I tried watching. It's tough. Like, I can't watch this thing. Well, look, there's an inconvenient truth, which is still going on. There's still it's about climate change, and this is a thing that may be our downfall. I don't know. A lot of things these days may be our downfall. It's kind of rough, like stuff going on right now. But this thing is, I mean, it's not as bad as seeing Earthlings. Nothing's that bad. So inconvenient truth, Al Gore's documentary. The same thing, the reaction, you get 3 points for that. It's not going to devastate you like Earthlings, so I don't give you as many points. I mean, it's going to make you maybe a little upset, possibly. Earthlings just will destroy you. That's why it's 7 points. If I'm going to do that to you, you're going to get some points. All right, 3. You know what? Let's say you say, I can't watch Earthlings. Inconvenient truth, I watched. It's, you can learn some things, but I'd rather see some things that are a little more fun. Well, there's things that are fun. I mean, some things that you should know about that aren't like gonna like be really affect you. Well, I say affect you, but aren't like negatively affect you, so you have bad dreams. Things like the Cove. You might have bad dreams of the Cove. Actually, that's about the dolphins in Japan that someone recommended I see, and I saw it, and I was immediately on donating that same night. And that was, I think some things have been done. Like some of these movies are so important because Earth is the most important thing. My dad always thought that, and my dad eventually got into environmental science after he taught astronomy and physics for years because he said, without the Earth, we have nothing. And he's right. So the more you learn about what's going on Earth, the more you're going to be, the more beneficial it is to you. I mean, you're going to be, the more well-rounded you are about knowing things. And I'm not just talking about knowing things from watching YouTube and seeing something somebody posted about, I don't know, chemtrails, those are really contrails, or the flat Earth. No, I'm talking about things that are based on facts, things that might be based on science, not things that people just come up with and pull out of their, well, I won't say that. But the Cove, Supersize Me, very interesting. Food Inc., also very interesting. Who Killed the Electric Car? Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. I mean, that's one of my favorites. It's almost like a feature film, even though it's a documentary. And Forks Over Knives. Some of these are tough to watch about what's going on at unacceptable levels. But then if you say, you know what, Earth is really important, but I want to learn some astronomy. Yeah, I understand that. This is an astronomy class. But, I'd still want you to know about Earth, because without Earth, if we don't have Earth and people, we don't have astronomy. But Cosmos, the Cosmos episodes, either Carl Sagan or the Neil deGrasse Tyson ones, also, they're both great. I mean, a lot of people can appreciate Neil a lot better because he kind of connects to people better than Carl, but I like Carl too. But hey, I think Neil's awesome. I always, if he's talking, I'm listening. Or any astronomy-related video. 2 points. Anyone you watch, do a 150-word reaction. It's like 3 sentences. And email it to Joe, and you get two extra points. You can see a bunch of these Cosmos episodes. I mean, any astronomy video. You go onto Netflix or Amazon Prime. There's all these astronomy things you can watch. And you can watch them, you can learn something, and you can get extra credit at the same time. So here's the grading breakdown. Daily quizzes, we said 300 points. Lowest score is going to be dropped. 16, one gets dropped, so it's 15. Homeworks, 11 are there. Only 10 get counted, 100 points. Final exam, 100 points. Sorry, the alignment's not quite right here. I've been trying to figure that out for years. That's the best I could do. Grade distribution, there it is. You fall into these categories, you get those grades. I also round up. If you end up with like an 89.5 or higher, I'm gonna round up and give it to you. But I may not round up if you're lower than that. So again, do everything you can. Do the homeworks. Do as well as you can on the quizzes. I think, and do the extra credit as many as you can. I think you'll be okay. I think you'll do well. But you got to keep up with it. I'm not going to make anything so hard that it's going to be impossible to understand. No. I want you to just watch the videos. If you have to watch them again, do that. You should do pretty well. I believe you can do really well in the class. Final exam. Again, Wednesday, July 22nd, noon. I'm going to pick another time during that day in case you can't do it. Don't miss it. If you miss it, take it later on that day. If you miss that, you're in trouble. We're both in trouble. We're going to have to do an incomplete. It's a mess. Don't do that. Daily quizzes. Okay, course policies. Daily quizzes, homeworks, lecture exercises, final exam. There are no makeup anythings. No makeups. That's the policy. No makeups of anything. Don't even ask. If you're not sure whether there's a makeup, go watch this video again. And go towards the bottom. Go to I'm saying this right now, and then you'll see there's not. Don't ask me. Thank you. Code of conduct. Cheating or not following quiz or exam protocol is not permitted. You kind of do things on your own. The violation result in failure of that quiz exam with a possible 2-day suspension. I don't know how I'm going to do a 2-day suspension for you if something happens. Hopefully nothing will happen. I don't know. I'm going to take away your cell phone and computer for 2 days. Yep. I'm going to do that. I'm going to see how I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. But let's not even worry about it. Just do everything on your own. Here's the academic integrity statement. If you're really, really bored and have read everything you can in the whole world, well, there, you can read that. All right, student learning outcomes. I'm not going to go over that now. And you can, if you want to, what we're going to cover in this class, what you should be able to take home with you, what you'll be able to do after taking this class, and what the things that we're going to be, also the topics that we're going to want you to know in this class. So that's it. And I hope this recording came out. We'll see. And if it is, it's going to be posted. And I'm going to try to make some more, talk to you, email you guys when I can to make sure everybody's on track to know what's coming up. And we'll see what we can do. We'll see how this goes. And we'll talk to you soon.